everyone, it's Karli Reese and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing another answering questions video. And honestly, it seems like there might be a little bit of controversy about my question videos on my channel. A lot of people are so tired of seeing them, but then there's another group of people who want them to keep coming. So I'm kind of like stuck on what to do. But today I'm not doing a video like the other question videos that I've done recently because I can understand where people are coming from when they're saying that they're tired of it, because I kind of have recently been answering the same questions over and over again, but it is because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. So today I'm not necessarily answering questions completely about myself. There are a few questions on here that are geared towards me, but they're questions that I've never really talked about before. But basically today I'm going to be giving advice and answering questions about relationships, school, friendships, all kinds of stuff like that. The first question is actually for me and it is regarding school. So it is, if you weren't majoring in criminal justice, what would you choose to do instead? When I was in high school, I was convinced I was going to college for like so many different things. Like for a while, I thought I was going to college for like veterinary and stuff, which that never would have worked out, to be honest. But a very, very close second, I would say, to criminal justice would have been psychology. The reasons I was considering psychology is because I wanted a job being like a psychologist for either like people in prisons or kids in mental hospitals, like stuff like that. So I guess the major that I would choose would be psychology if I wasn't in criminal justice. So the next question is asking for advice, and there was actually two different questions on here that were a little bit similar, so I'm kind of just going to combine them together and answer both of them. So basically the general question is asking like, how do I cope with losing a toxic friend, or how do I remove myself from a toxic friendship? So the first thing I want to say to both of you is it seems like you are very unhappy in your friendships, and that should be enough for you to realize that it's not good for you. Obviously, that is a very hard thing to do because even if you've gone through a lot of bad stuff, there are still good memories and stuff like that that you're really holding on to. So my advice to you would just be to weigh out the positives and the negatives. And if there are more negatives, then you shouldn't be friends with that person. And in general, your friend should respect you, treat you with kindness, and make you feel good about yourself. And if you have a friend that's doing the opposite of all of those things, then they shouldn't be in your life. And I truly do know how it is because I have had some toxic people in my life, and it has been very hard for me to cut them off. But kind of what it comes down to is just you have to have like a realization within yourself that like, hey, listen, like I'm not being treated the way that I deserve to be treated and the way that I want to be treated. And at first, I believe you should set a boundary with your friends. Like if they are making inappropriate jokes towards you or saying rude things to you that you don't like, tell them like, hey, that's not okay, like I don't appreciate that. And if those behaviors from them like continue after you set a boundary, then you just know they're not a good friend. They're not going to respect you, they're not going to change. And at that point, there's the realization for you that this friend is not a good friend, and even when I ask for them to change and respect me, they can't do it. So that is all the advice that I have for that. I could definitely talk about it way more, but I feel like this segment is getting a little long, so we're gonna move on. The next question is asking for advice, and it is actually work related. So someone says, best advice for starting a YouTube channel. Honestly, the best advice that I could give in simple terms is you just have to be consistent, you have to be patient, and you have to be motivated. What I believe it truly takes is to have something that you're passionate about, have content that you think is going to be successful. So you need to take those motivations and you need to be consistent with it. You can't just post one video and expect to see results. You have to keep posting, and eventually you will start seeing more and more results, and viewers and all that stuff will start multiplying. It'll just happen. You just have to be patient. And the thing that sucks about it is progress is not the same for anyone. So one creator could blow up in literally 1 week, and it could take someone else 5 years to blow up. So that is just truly the thing that is really hard with it, is you have to be consistent, you have to be motivated, and you most certainly have to be patient. So that is my advice to you, but I truly believe that if you are motivated and you do believe in yourself, you can completely do it. So the next question is actually a question for me regarding work, which I have never answered before, which feels like so weird because this is such a good question. So the question is, what is your favorite opportunity that you have gotten from YouTube? Obviously, there are like so many, like the list is endless. I have gotten so many great opportunities from YouTube, but like I don't even know if I can choose one. There are definitely some brand deals that I have done that have been like my all-time favorite. Like when I did a brand deal with White Fox, that was one of my favorite brand deals that I've ever done, especially with Princess Polly. But then there's obviously like grander opportunities that have happened. Like I flew out to Utah and attended a YouTube convention, and then we also did like this RV road trip for like a toilet paper brand, like across the country. Like there's just so many different things that have happened that I'm like so grateful for. Those are the two things that I just named are definitely like the coolest because they're like experiences that I never thought like I would live through, you know? I guess I would say the greatest opportunities that have came from YouTube are definitely our family vacations, and those have absolutely been amazing. I really don't think we would have been able to travel as much and go to these super cool places if it wasn't for YouTube. So I guess I would say that is definitely what I'm most grateful for, because within the last couple of years, like for spring break, I've gone to some pretty cool places, and I'm just so like appreciative for that, and it was definitely just a very, very cool experience. So the next question is a question for me about school, and it is, what is currently your favorite subject in college? Right now I am taking a lot of electives that are required for my major, and don't get me wrong, they're all like very interesting, but my favorite would have to be women in crime. I honestly just feel like the reason the class is interesting to me is because obviously I'm a woman, and obviously I enjoy learning about crime. So it kind of just goes hand in hand with one another. There's obviously more things that I like about the class. I really like the teacher. I had her last semester. She's really cool. She grades pretty easily. I love the assignments that we get to do, and in general there's just not a lot of work for the class, and when there is work for the class, it's nothing that I don't want to do. Like I actually enjoy doing all of it. So the next question is actually a question for me regarding school again, and the question is, what are your plans after college? And I actually have thought about this quite a bit recently, and I feel like I've kind of formatted a plan in my brain, but I feel like I always am formatting new plans in my brain. So this is my current plan. Don't expect this to actually happen. This is just how I currently feel and how I have felt for like the past couple of months, I guess. So what I want to do after I graduate college is, I don't think I immediately want to use my degree and go get a job. I think I'm going to stick out with YouTube for as long as I mentally and physically can. I just feel like now that I'm 18 and my YouTube channel kind of feels like my own, like instead of it dying, I feel like it's going to start growing instead, and I actually have noticed that it has started growing and like getting better. So I just feel like it would be dumb of me to like throw that away, and I know I don't graduate college for like another 3 years, so it's hard to even like say what's gonna happen then. But I have decided that I want to keep doing YouTube, and eventually when my boyfriend and I do move out together, I think I would start like incorporating him into videos. It would never obviously become a couples channel, like it'll always be Karli Reese and only Karli Reese, but I just think it would be nice to kind of like start incorporating more of my like life experiences and like kind of start doing more vlogs and stuff, you know? I actually love school, so it's not hard for me at all to be like in college right now. Like I actually enjoy it, and I feel like I can see myself like going to college again in the future for something else, like just because that's the type of person that I am. I'm not going to drop out of college because I feel like even if my degree won't be useful right when I graduate, it'll be useful one day, and it'll be really nice to be like, okay, like I'm finally done with YouTube, like let's wrap up this chapter and I'll have a degree like waiting for me and I can just go get a job, you know? Okay, so the next question is, what are ways to get better with mental health? I have been struggling with anxiety all year. So I have actually been struggling with anxiety pretty bad this year as well, and I feel like kind of what it's affecting most this year is my social interactions, which is interesting. Previous years, anxiety has had like a major toll on like my eating and sleeping, I would say, but this year it's really like affecting like my want to socialize with people. It's been really hard because my friends and stuff have been hanging out a lot and like doing a lot of things together, and they'll invite me and like my brain will literally tell me like, no, like you need to stay home, like you shouldn't go, and like I'll think about going and then I'll like get up and I'll be ready to go and then I'll sit back down and I don't want to go anymore. Like it's just a little fight in my brain. Like I swear there's two people in my brain and they're constantly fighting about what I should do in life. But hanging out with people has definitely been a really big struggle for me recently, and even if I do like put myself out there and I do go hang out with my friends, like I'll be there for 30 minutes and then I'll start getting anxious about something and then I'll want to go home. So it's really frustrating, but I have been recently like trying to combat it like a lot, and it's actually really helping. So if you're struggling like hanging out with friends and stuff like that in like the same way that I am, what actually has been helping me is just doing like smaller things with smaller amounts of people. For example, last night I was with just 2 people and we sat there and painted tote bags and literally talked for hours. It definitely made me feel good doing that, like the entire time we were together. Like I didn't feel anxious at all. I didn't have any feelings of like, ooh, I really want to go home. So I've definitely just found that like doing smaller activities in a more comfortable space with people you're more comfortable with, it's definitely helping me like push out of my shell a little bit. So my advice on just like ways to get better is like whatever you're dealing with, like you just have to find ways around it and like ways to make you feel better. Like for me, because I'm struggling with like hanging out with friends and hanging out with people, I have to find like new ways that'll make me comfortable doing that. So each time I do it, I can get a little bit more comfortable each time, and then it eventually will just be super easy for me. So whatever you are dealing with right now, you just need to find healthy ways to cope with it and little things that you can do that will push you further and further each time of like progressing, you know? So let me answer this question super quickly. It'll be the last one. So the question is, are you minoring in anything? And actually at the beginning of the year, I had set up like an entire like course plan with my academic advisor, and I actually did have a minor. I had a minor in forensic science investigation, and I was like kind of following that plan, you know? And then it came to like just a few weeks ago, like me and my mom were signing up for my classes for next semester, and we just realized that my minor really wouldn't help me do anything that I wanted to do like after I graduate. Like it was honestly like really pointless for me to even get that. And there were just so many extra classes that were required for the minor that I don't even know how I would have been able to get that done unless I took like 8 classes a semester, which I don't even think you can do. There were just so many extra classes required, like anatomy, a lab for anatomy, biology, a lab for biology, chemistry, a lab for chemistry. Like that alone is 6 classes right there. Like that's a whole nother semester of work. And there was also like electives that were required as well, and just like other stuff. So I was just like, you know what, we're gonna get rid of that and we don't care about it anymore, because it really wasn't gonna benefit me anyway. So I was like, I'm not gonna trip about it. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did a little bit of blabbling today. I'm also really struggling to get my words out today. I've stuttered so many times. I know you guys won't hear any of that stuttering because I'm gonna cut it out and I'm a little bit embarrassed about it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys liked it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos kind of like this. I know I do question videos a lot, but I usually don't do question videos like this where I'm like giving advice and answering questions about like life kind of stuff, you know? Like usually I'm just talking about myself. Like let's talk about life and like you guys and stuff. Like I could do videos like this more often if you guys enjoyed this one. So just let me know if you did. I'll do more, but I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!